And welcome everyone to Wizards Outlook. Now we spoke with you guys a little bit earlier this evening during pregame. There's Cardell W. Jr. got Raymond Lyons with us. I'm Wilson Tucker Jr. Now, Cardell, you touched on a couple of folks in pregame. Some of the one of the folks that you mentioned, they weren't accompanied by gravity, but you made it clear to make sure that Tristan De Silva was mentioned before we finished discussing tonight's matchup on pregame. That young man played a pivotal role in this one. Obviously, an increased fight from Washington versus their last time out. That said, even with that rally, they ended up going to OT, and Orlando's able to continue their win streak. Orlando came in on a 5-game win streak. They leave this game with their sixth consecutive win, and they win the season series over Washington, 3 games to 1. Ray, we'll start with you, and then Cardell. Just your thoughts on this one? You know, uh, this is Washington's latest game after what happened a few days ago.
Yeah, thankfully it wasn't a repeat of that. But yeah, that fourth quarter fight was that was impressive, man. It was it's good to see that type of response after what we saw a couple days ago. And I'll just leave that at that. But yeah, man, they were attacking. And typically when they've played Orlando, Orlando's size and has proved to be difficult for Washington to deal with. But they matched the physicality. Points in the paint. They were right there with them. Orlando had 56 points in the paint for the game, and Washington had 52. In that fourth quarter, they outscored them in the paint. I believe it was 16-6. Uh, they were on the offensive glass, had 12 second chance points in that quarter, and yeah, man, they were right there. They almost pulled it out. Unfortunately, the Magic were able to get them in the extra period, but yeah, man, it was that if they can just replicate that for longer stretches, then they'll I'll be satisfied with that. But overall, they just got off to a slow start. Orlando jumped all over them at 36 points in the first quarter, and we know it's difficult for them to play from behind. Um, but it just seems like in that last period they kind of got a good grasp on the game. It always starts defensively for them when that's not working and nothing's working. But yeah, man, we are where we are in the season. It is what it is. We know the situation they're in. But again, the young guys showed up. The bench played a pivotal role in this one with them almost taking down the Magic. But yeah, it was just too much. Tristan De Silva, Jalen Suggs had a huge game as well, and Desmond Bain contributed 22. Relatively quiet night for Paolo. 18 points, 4-13 from the field. I did have 10 rebounds and 5 assists, but those other guys were able to pick up the slack.
Cardell.
Yeah, I just think they let them rock. They let them try to. You could tell the players took what happened the other night to heart, because literally the last couple of days they've been a laughing stock, not just in the NBA, but in the entire basketball world. Like people that don't even really follow basketball was talking about them in a negative light. So they showed some pride and they came on here and they fought against an Orlando team that had just beat a contending team in the Cavaliers. Obviously, fatigue played a role in why the Wizards were able to mount a comeback, in a 4-4 not, but they did it. They could have laid down. They know the situation. They did. They fought. I just feel like they showed pride, and it's the type of pride they should have been trying to show all season. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't take a historical level of embarrassment to get you to play. Also, a couple players that didn't play in that game in Miami did play, like in Jameer Watkins, Trey Young, and Leaky Black. You know what I mean? In that fourth quarter comeback, Bilal Coulibaly went crazy. He had 13 on 5 and 9. Yes, he was on his name. Leaky Black had 7 on 3 or 3. Jameer Watkins, 5 points. Leaky Black and Jameer Watkins, them two. Well, Jameer just signed the deal, but it's only a 2-year deal. They they trying to solidify this spot in the league. They hungry, so they not rolling. Like I know at least for Jameer Leaky, we still still trying to evaluate. Being back and forth between the G and the Wiz. I know Jameer Walker said he played against the Heat. He the one to go guard the Bam his damn self. Like that's just how you get down. Like you saw more of those type of players play tonight, and that's why you saw more fight. Like, bro, I'd be damned if that happened again. It happened to our team again, not to me. Like, and that's the type of fight you should always come with, man. You know what I mean? And that's what you saw. You see what I'm saying? But to Wilson's point when he was talking about close game, winnable game for the Wizards, but two players that I highlighted you got to contain. They did a good job on Bankero. I give them that. Jalen Suggs, 28, 8-4 on 10 of 17. Yeah, yeah. Then between him and Desmond Bain, 22.6 assists, 7 of 14 from the field, 2 of 5 from deep. Perfect from the free throw line. That backcourt production. Trey was Trey in the limited minutes he had. Trey Johnson hit the weight room, man. That's who's in the East. You want to see them a lot. Like they got up in him 1 for 11, and he's a pro scorer. That tells you all you need to know about what they was bringing to the table tonight to try to make sure they won this game. But Tristan Da Silva, that young kid, he was the difference in the game. That's already my Xfactor, so you already know. 26 points to seven rebounds, so 10 of 18. He had just got through torching the Cavs last night, and he just came right back and did it again, man. You see what I'm saying? And he made up for Paulo Banchero's struggles in front of the field. Then Wendell Carter, 19 and 11. You see what I'm saying? Like that was the difference. If it wasn't for that crazy fight and the Wizards in the full quarter, there's probably a double-digit loss for the Wizards. You know what I mean? So, that's just the main thing, man. Like they didn't. We all know Orlando has had the talent in the sense they kind of underachieved me in 37-28. We thought they'd kind of be at the top of the East. And who knows, man, the way they've been building lately, they might be a headache in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Who knows? But, at the end of the day, we know they had the talent and the firepower, especially when they added Bain in last offseason and whatnot. So it's a lot of weapons you got to keep under control to try to beat them if they play up there to their potential. And the Wizards just didn't do a good job of that tonight. But I will give them props for bouncing back and showing some heart after that embarrassment display, man. You know what I mean? He won't erase what happened, but at least, it just shows people like, yeah, we do have some fighters over here because last couple of days been brutal for them.
Understood. Player of the game for you guys?
It sucks.
Right. Agreement.
Yeah, no argument from me.
All right. And Carter already mentioned young Philip Silva, which is Xfactor. Same with you, Ray?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think they made it really clear. And like to your point, Cardell, Paolo had a rough night. But I think one of the things that he did do a good job was get on the glass and then just attacking downhill. He kept attacking instead of settling. But like you said, that's the thing that's going to be interesting with the Magic as we get closer to the postseason is some of those other guys, they're really coming alive as they head into the postseason. I know Franz is out, but the minute what you're getting from Suggs to Silva, I know Black didn't play this one, but he took a step forward this year. We mentioned it several times. This was the last time these two teams have met. In the previous three matchups, we've Anthony Black's been mentioned in every preview for a reason. Like he took a big step. So with him out, you still had Suggs being able to do what he was able to do. You have this Silva. Carter had a really efficient solid night with 19 and 11. Yeah, I'm anxious to see if they can keep building what it looks like, as you mentioned, when they get to playoffs, because that's just a tough physical team. This is not going to be a fun out for someone is if they keep, if they enter the playoffs on a roll. You guys have anything else with this one? All right. Well, We'll just have several games in the coming days. So we will check in with you guys. Then y'all have a great night.